Hey, what's going on, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Lakers got a victory at home, 140-132 against the Houston Rockets. And man, that was a lot of fun. Good team game, efficiency everywhere. You got to give credit to LeBron James to start. 48 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, uh, 5 out of 10 threes. Just a whole lot of efficiency over the last several games. Um, it's been lost in the fact that we've been losing, but he hasn't been missing a whole lot at all, with the exception of the 0 for 7 from behind the arc in that one game. But even then, his efficiency from the field was ridiculous. And tonight, he was 11 out of 12 free throws. So when the King is hitting free throws like that, hitting threes like that, um, you're going to see scoring like this. So 48 points, a season high for the King. Spectacular effort in a win. And I really like the shot selection to seal the game that he decided to take. Bank shot off the glass. Just really, really nice stuff. Good shot selection. A very, very good, simple, balanced basket. And I think he can take that shot, anytime he wants. I think that's a shot that Russell Westbrook often hunts down. Has some success with it here and there. I think LeBron James should maybe look to try to see if that shot could be something he takes a little more often, because it did fall with a lot of confidence down the stretch of the game. And as I said, teams tend to leave that spot open for him. And so um, I felt like that was really, really good to see him seal a game like that. Even though there was more playing taking place after that, free throws were shot and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that was like a game sealing play in my mind. So um, good shot selection there. Got to give credit to Alperen Sengun on the Rockets. I thought he was just utterly phenomenal, man. Career high 35 points, 15 rebounds, 4 blocks, several assists. I don't remember how many assists, but the dude had a spectacular performance. One of the best games I've ever seen a rookie play, honestly, truthfully. And I think they would have won the game if they would have kept him in there and they subbed him in a little sooner. But the Rockets are tanking, man. It's frustrating, I guess, if you're him, because you're playing well enough, but your team is trying their best to assure that your teammate is super next year. So they got to lose games, and I just felt like this was one of them ones where he would have loved to have been in a different situation to have a performance like that and have it matter. You know what I mean? Because players like that on a rookie in his rookie season, or rather it's his sophomore season rather. But for him to be balling like this year 2, it's unbelievable. And he's one of those guys we talk about that doesn't have to necessarily have his athleticism or a whole lot of at all. He doesn't have to jump off the ground to do what it is that he does. It's back to the basket, floor general type stuff, cerebral play, hook shots and stuff like that. He can do that at 30. I can see him having a game like this at 33 years of age, because what he did down there was, none of it was predicated on speed. None of it was predicated on anything other than him using his big body to punish people with his back to the basket, and then from there just using his skill set to find guys. He hit a couple threes, if I'm not mistaken. I know he hit one for sure. It was just a really, really flawless performance by that young guy, man. So even though LeBron James had the game-sealing performance with spectacular numbers, I just thought that kid, young fella, stood out tremendously throughout the game. I think he only missed 3 shots. He was like 11 or 14 or something like that. Just unbelievable stuff, man. And that 3-point shot was not forgettable, because he did hit more than one for certain, because I do remember him hitting a straightaway that bounced up in the air and then came back down in the first half. So it's the type of night he had, and I was very, very happy that we were able to win it, because when guys like that go off, 9 out of 10 times we don't win. So it was good to see the Lakers win a close game, man. Some key stats: the Houston Rockets had 0 steals as a team, no steals at all. And the Lakers had 2 turnovers. That is a franchise record. Yes, the great Los Angeles Lakers have never, ever had a game where they turned the ball over fewer times than they did tonight. That is a franchise record. So for all the things we talk about with this team and what it is they're able to do, on this night, they did something no other Laker team has ever done. So that definitely needs to be acknowledged. In a game that scored this much, had this many possessions, where we attempted like 92 shots, they attempted 100 field goals. To only have 2 turnovers is unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable, especially when you're given who we have on our roster and how we tend to turn the ball over left and right. That's unreal, super unreal at that. So I'm highly impressed with that stat alone, and a lot of it had to do with the Rockets not really trying to play defense too much, but they were playing a physical game. They, to the eyesight, you wouldn't say that they weren't playing hard. You definitely saw them rebounding the ball. 17 offensive rebounds for the Houston Rockets. I'm sure we would rather that not be the case. Both Wenyen Gabriel and Terry Eason led the game with 5 offensive rebounds apiece. And I got to give Wenyen Gabriel his credit. He also had over 10 points. I don't remember exactly what it was, but 2 blocks as well, and was really, really efficient. Helping us left and right, and really just played a phenomenal game, even though he got fouled out early in the fourth quarter. It wasn't because he wasn't doing his job. It was actually, I think he used his fouls well. I think he used his fouls well. Now, there were certain things down the stretch of this game we we didn't do what we were supposed to do in certain situations. Down the stretch, we just allowed our bad defensive ways to kind of carry us through the game, and it left it close. Dennis Schroeder had a bad reach foul down the stretch of that game. They gave Alperen Sengun a couple free throws. He missed them, luckily enough. But those are the type of things that left us an opportunity to win this game, because at the end of the day, the Houston Rockets just really don't want to win. Now, I would love to ask Eric Gordon, did you mean to miss that layup, yo? I don't think he misses that layup if he plays for the Lakers. Put it like, if he plays for the Celtics, if he's playing for a winning situation, I don't think he missed that layup. I think that was a deliberate miss. I think they put the ball in their veterans' hands and said, do what we need the franchise to have to happen here, which is make sure we don't win. And I swear to you, I'm going to stand by that. I think he meant to miss the layup. And this is one of those things where it's like, tanking is real this season, you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. The fact this team had 0 steals, and Alperen Sengun's on their team, and Jabari Smith is on their team, Jalen Green, they can get steals. Terry Eason, those guys, they got defensive players. They don't want to play no defense, man. What they want to do is lose. So I'm very glad that the Lakers were able to capitalize on that. LeBron James was able to get a lot of shots up, one step closer to Kareem. I think we're like, 340-something points away from Kareem. So, that's starting to be a thing now. We're starting to really see that starting to creep up on him. And I'm starting to feel better about it, I guess, as it pertains to what it is. Because for me, I've made peace with a lot of stuff in regards to LeBron James. And at the end of the day, I'm just watching what he has to live with, If we put together this team and it ain't no good, he's living with it, you know what I mean? And he's going out there putting it on the line, and for better or for worse, he's keeping his head high, and he's going out there putting up phenomenal performances in a win or a loss. And so that's what it's all about down there, man. I just want to see us win close games, and we were able to do that tonight. So it was a good way to bounce back after last night's debacle. That's what you need, is to have a game immediately happen after that, so that you don't have too long to think about it, talk about it. A lot of times games like that happen and you have a weekend, or then you have 4 days off where the peanut gallery can talk all about your mistakes. Nah, they didn't get a chance to, because on this day we gave them something else to talk about, which is a victory. So, it is what it is, man. We like winning games. We definitely like high-scoring games. We love seeing pace like that. Obviously, it was a lot of young talent on the floor. Guys like KJ Martin, Jabari Smith were very fun to watch down there. Jalen Green caught fire in the second half. Kind of shot his team out of it a little bit. He was 3 for 10 from behind the arc, if I'm not mistaken. But he started getting it together a little bit. And you can just see where this team is going to be really special down, in the future. Obviously, they don't want to win, so I saw, their coach was kind of subbing some guys in that I'm pretty sure if he would have did some things differently, they probably would have had a little more success. But like I said, that's by design, and we're happy about it, Dennis Schroeder, I thought, was really good tonight in certain pockets, even though his efficiency wasn't necessarily there. I thought he played some good basketball overall. Kendrick Nunn did some good things, even though from behind the arc it wasn't necessarily there. I thought he was really good from the field. What else, man? It was Thomas Bryant came in, had a couple shots, even though he was getting cooked in a very, very, very embarrassing way in the first half by Alperen. All in all, I thought that he gave us good effort. We just have to respect the fact that he's not a defensive player, and it's tough because we have situations where, when you fouled out and then down the stretch of the game, we didn't have any rim protection. So that was tough. I would like for us to go to Thomas Bryant in that situation. We went with JTA, and we're able to kind of walk away with it, but we didn't have that rim protection we needed, and so we were kind of lucky to get the win down the stretch of that game. To be honest with you, it's just going to be a thing where we're going to have to bring in another center. I do believe Jay Huff would help us with that. And the very thing that I think he's very good at is the very thing we would have needed our center to do in that situation, which is come in and be an interior scoring defensive presence, because they had 72 points in the paint on us tonight or something crazy like that, although we had like 64 points in their paint. I mean, you needed a Jay Huff tonight to kind of push guys out of there, block shots, and ultimately give you that rim protection that we just don't have on the floor without Anthony Davis. So I'm lobbying for us to do that. I know people are talking about getting Nerlens Noel. That may be a solution, but I'm not a fan of his contract. I'm not a fan of him as a player, but I know he can do that for us. So, I just feel like Jay Huff would do the same thing, at a much lesser price. We talk about prices and different things like that. And if you guys follow me, we talked about the Rudy Gobert trade and how that was a horrible trade for the value. And right when it happened, I told you guys, like, they threw in Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler's a shot blocker, by nature as a rookie this season. He had a game where he went for 20 and 21, a bunch of blocks. It's like, Rudy Gobert ain't had a game like that all season long. And this guy was just a throw-in the trade. So it's like, this is what I want the Lakers to do. Follow what the Jazz are doing. Because they picked up Walker Kessler as the replacement for Rudy Gobert and then got like 3 and 4 times what it was worth on top of that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's all the Lakers need to be doing. Don't look for the Nerlens Noel piece. Nah. Look for the guy you already got in your uniform down in the G League who's going crazy, Jay Huff. At 3 times less the price. He'd probably be just as good, if not a lot better. In fact, a lot better, certainly. So that's what I want to see the Lakers do, man. It's a very easy solution. Call Jay Huff up, put him in the paint in situations like tonight. So yeah, that was a good game, man. What can I say? High scoring stuff. It wasn't a whole lot to really talk about, other than just guys going back and forth, really, really electrifying our crowd, keeping the guys excited. The pace was fun. Turnovers didn't happen very often. I mean, we saw the fouls that were called. We saw, the referees do what it is they've been doing every night, which is kind of be a little questionable what it is we're seeing. But, I thought Garrison Matthews shot the ball very well for their team when they subbed him in for a quick minute. Garuba, it was good seeing him down there pushing people around and stuff like that. That's a young rookie who's a lottery pick who doesn't get a lot of minutes. Josh Christopher made me look terrible today. I said if we picked him up, he'd probably be our starting shooting guard. He went 0 for 4. He looked terrible. So I don't know where his development is, but he's still somebody I think we should target. And like I said, the Rockets have players that, a lottery pick like Ty Washington you didn't even see tonight. Like, these are the type of things that just happens when you load up on picks, So I just want the Lakers to try to find a way to do a trade with a team like the Rockets, do a trade with OKC, do a trade with some of these teams that have these surplus players that really need bigger roles. And we're running around with players that probably shouldn't have roles at all, to be completely honest with you. But I thought everybody played well. Troy Brown was really good tonight. I love what I saw from him defensively. Patrick Beverley was a welcome addition back to our club. Shooting threes, hitting them early in the first quarter, setting a tone. You know what I mean? So I thought it was a good team game. I think we had like 5 players in double figures. Russell Westbrook walked away with 24 points, driving at the rim, just picking up where he left off. Even though he had the bad night last night at the end of the game, he still was very efficient throughout the meat and potatoes of it. And so, we take the good with the bad, and there was a whole lot of good tonight from Russell. And we feel like we've been saying it a lot lately. So with the outlier of last night, which ultimately he was fouled on, and I felt like the coach shouldn't have put him in that situation anyway, so it wasn't really his fault. I think Russell Westbrook's actually played well in the midst of a really tough circumstance, but tonight was a good night for him, and I thought we did good things. I thought we really did good things. I remember him getting a block shot or two, just flying out of everywhere, rebounding the ball and stuff like that. You really want to give credit to Russell Westbrook. You consider LeBron James pitching in with 48 points, and then Russell Westbrook piggybacking that with 24. Like, that was really needed when you consider just how many points it took to win this game. So yeah, I'm not an unhappy Laker fan. Obviously, I got mixed feelings about everything that's been going on over the last, say, 5 days with the team. But when you have a night where you get a victory, you beat a young team, you feel all right. You feel at least like you have a breath of relief. It's not continuous strain, so that's a good thing. I thought Jabari Smith played well, blocked some shots, even though his 3-point shot wasn't really falling. I thought he was really, really helpful in tangible areas, defensively too, blocking and rebounding. Uh, yeah, just doing the best that he could to try to fit in on a team that I honestly don't think he really fits in on that much. His piece is a little different for them offensively. It's kind of hard to get him those 3-point looks when he got so many other mouths to feed. Um, and then with them targeting Victor Wembanyama, if they happen to get lucky and either get him or get one of the Thompson twins, it's going to be interesting to see who they keep. Because Alperin, the way he played tonight, he's definitely not somebody you're letting go. So Jabari is way too talented of a player to ever be moved to the bench. But if you bring in another forward like a Wembanyama or a center like Wembanyama, that's the only place to move him. So I see them moving on from him. He's going to be somebody they're going to trade if they land another star power forward, which I think is, if you look at the way the draft is going, if they get one of them top 5 picks, they're in a position to get one. And then on the flip side of that, if they happen to get Scoot, what happens with Porter? What happens with Green? Which one of those guys do they keep? Do they let go of Scoot? Do they possibly trade that pick? These are things that you wonder about with the Rockets. So I'm keeping a close eye on them. They're one of my favorite young teams, obviously, as you guys hear me talk about them. But I just want Rob Pelinka to kick the can with them. I am a firm believer. If you're going to give up 2 picks, if you're not going to bring back a superstar Zach LaVine guy, if you're targeting for somebody like that, then you go the other route. And you take those picks and you try to see if you can get a good handful of guys like that on the Houston. Like, honestly, I'd take 1 pick. I mean, obviously, Houston ain't going to do this. But in a perfect world, I'd take 1 pick and just give me like 3 of them dudes. Give me 3 of them dudes on the back of your bench. You know what I mean? And I know people look at like, that's not the value of a pick. But yes, it is. When I turn it into more than a pick, it will be. You see what I'm saying? Instead of giving picks up for contracts I can't do nothing with. So you've heard me say this ad nauseum. We ain't going to get into that too much more than that. But I just think that the Rockets are definitely a team I would be calling twice a day if I were Rob Pelinka. So that's the thought, man. That's the thought. I am a content and entertained Laker fan. That's the word. Content and entertained. We won a close game. I thought a good shot was taken down the stretch to assure we closed it by the best player on our team, LeBron James, after a very efficient night where most of the team played well. That's all I really need to see most nights. That's it. I thought the return of Patrick Beverley was a huge boost for that. I thought JTA played some really good ball defensively, hit a big 3 down the stretch. I thought his deficiencies offensively kind of reared their ugly head in certain moments, but I thought overall he was really, really helpful on both sides of the floor, especially defensively. So, you just take the good with the bad, man. We're a limited team, but I thought guys fought hard tonight. And after a back-to-back like what we had last night, you would want to see this team come out and play exactly the way they did. So, Efficiency King is here, man. I don't know what to tell you. He should be on a much better basketball team. But the way that he's shooting the ball right now, these last 2 games, the way he's been shooting since his birthday, basically, you just want to see him in a winning situation. And I hate to be that guy, but the only thing truly in the way of him being in a winning situation is Anthony Davis's health. That's it. Because we saw what Anthony Davis turns this team into when he's playing well. When he's himself, we're not just a team. We're probably the best team in the West. If he's going to play like he did right before he got hurt. Who's beating us? Who's beating us? You know what I'm saying? That's what it really comes down to if he's going to play like that. But if he's going to be missing 50 games a season, then what good is he to us? So here we are again, man. LeBron James doesn't have enough, but he's playing so well. How many years have we said that about him in his career? I wish we could remedy that. I wish the Lakers would decide to remedy that. So that's what I got to say, man. I'm happy we won, though. Nothing to complain about. This is a good night for the Lakers. The crowd loved it. I'm sure, we walked out of there feeling like we can, kind of salvage our week, I guess. We got a lot of games to play this week. Got Sacramento coming up on Wednesday here. And it's going to be a test, man. It's going to be a definite test. You thought Alpern did some things, you already know. Sabonis plays the exact same way. De'Aaron Fox is going to be ready. Malik Monk has caught fire as of late. Keegan Murray has found his stroke as of late. So, yeah, Sacramento ain't going to be an easy team to beat. We went into their house, kept them from lighting the beam. They're going to run a return the favor. So, of course, we'll do some homework on them again since we've seen them for the fourth time in like a month. So it ain't going to be too much homework to do. But we will check on how they've been doing these last couple games since we've seen them. And, of course, I have content for you in regards to it on Wednesday. So that's what I got, man. Happy the Lakers won. If I'm going to give the game ball to anybody, it's definitely going to the King. But special honors to the other guy, Alperen Sengun, for just having a historical rookie performance on the road. I will never forget it. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching.